Hey guys, it's Erin with Hand Stamp Style, and in the video today I am going to share with you a little product review, or preview as it is for today. I am so excited to talk to you about this, and I'm sure you guys have been waiting for this for a while now, as I have too. But we are going to talk about the Stampin' Trimmer, the new paper cutter that we have. This thing is phenomenal. I know lots of people have asked me, well, I already have the old paper trimmer, what do I need the new one for? When you see how many things they've added to this new trimmer, you'll be able to answer that question for yourself. And I noticed while I was unpacking it the other day, I just got this like a day or two ago, Stampin' Up! Actually has a patent pending, it says right here on here, for this paper trimmer. And I can see why. This thing is cool. So let me just dive right in and show you the different things that make this such a great trimmer. The first thing is, when you get this, you'll notice there's a little sticker, and I've already removed mine. There's a little sticker on this side that says, remove the plastic, protective covering before using. And so I took that little sticker off and I was like, okay, whatever. Then the next day I came and I saw like little bubbles. I thought, oh crap, this thing's defective. And then I noticed that there's actually a plastic covering on the entire sheet. In fact, I only removed this side because I wanted to see if I was actually messing it up or not. But it actually has it on both sides. So if you'll see, I'm going to try and grab it here with my finger. Can you see that? It's very thin, and it's on both the large and the small side. Okay, and that protects it from scratching and shipping and stuff. So you just want to make sure that you remove those. And when you remove those, you'll notice when you start putting paper in here, it's not sticky, but it is grippy. It's not sticky to the touch, but when you put cardstock down, it doesn't slide like it did. Can you see how I can't really even move it with my fingers, which is fabulous because once you put it in a place, like on a measurement, you don't have to worry about it really moving nearly as much as the old paper trimmer did. The other thing that I really love about this paper trimmer versus the old one, the Fiskars one that we used to have, is that the measurements are underneath this top plastic covering. So I don't know if any of you had the issue I did. I think I went through 4 or 5 paper trimmers and Stampin' Up! Replaced them. They were great. But the measurements kept wearing off of the bottom portion of my Fiskars trimmer. I don't know if it's something with the chemicals in my hands or what, but it shouldn't do that. And this one won't, because all the measurements are underneath like a clear plastic housing that's on top. Okay, so the other great things about this is, I don't know if you guys can notice, but the measurement goes, let me move it down so you can kind of see the top. And zoom in just a bit. It goes all the way, let me zoom in. Can you see that? Goes all the way to 6 inches. So you no longer have to flip open the arm in order to cut card stock for your card bases. Okay, can I just tell you how much I love that? It is, I don't know about you, but I have like a dining table for my craft table, and I literally, once I get started with projects, I don't have enough room to fold out this arm when I'm cutting for projects and stuff. So for me, this is fantastic. I'm kind of a messy scrapper. So I love that aspect of it, that this actual ruler is larger. It's actually larger this way too. If you'll notice, let me turn it sideways here. If you'll notice, it actually, and I know this doesn't help, my ruler's clear, but this is a 12-inch ruler. And it actually fits with a little bit of space down here. So it's actually a little longer than 12 inches. And I don't know if you can notice this, but and I'll explain how, see, it's very, very brand new. I literally haven't used it more than once. It's long enough to keep your blades in at the same time as you're cutting your cardstock. In fact, you can keep both your scoring and your cutting blade in at the same time and still fit your cardstock in. Awesome. I'm telling you, they put a ton of thought into the design of this trimmer before they honestly, that's one thing I love about Stampin' Up, really. Their quality of their product is really second to none. I know many of you already know that, but it's not just the craftsmanship that goes into making the products that they sell, but the actual thought process behind really what would be a better tool for us as far as trimmers go. They really have thought of everything. It's amazing. Okay, so the measurement side is obviously a little bit longer, which is great. Okay, so I don't know if any of you noticed on the old trimmer, this, at least for mine, it never cut a completely straight line. Many times it didn't. It would, as I was cutting, if I was putting too much pressure, it would bow almost the cutting, like the blade. This one does not do that. It literally, I mean, it doesn't move, which is awesome. It also comes with the blade and the scoring tool. I marked mine blade and score because I didn't know yesterday. I was like, oh, which one's which? And I don't read instructions. So, and the other thing is it comes with this fantastic little manual that you get. There's not a ton of information in it because you don't have to be a rocket, scientist to be able to figure out how to use the paper trimmer, but it does point out a lot of the features, which is kind of nice. But so before I even looked at them, I stuck my thumb down on them to see which was which, and I actually gave myself a really nice cut. It is very sharp, so I would not recommend doing that. The other thing I want to show you is down here at the very bottom. I don't know, let me zoom in and see if you can see this a little bit better. Can you see, put my hand behind it, can you see how this gets wider, this little hole in the cutter? It actually is meant, this is where you can pull your blades in and out of, right here. Okay, so I paused the video just so I could attempt to get it out. I didn't want to break it on camera if I did that, but it's actually really easy to get out. So because I cut my thumb, and so I haven't, let me zoom out. And so because I did that, my entire finger is really tender. And so normally I think what you would do is push this, let me flip it up so you can see. You would push this tiny little lever, this lever right back here, that's connected to the back. It actually locks itself onto this little clear thing. You would loosen that with your finger, but because I have a maimed finger, I can't do that. So let me show you what I did instead. I took this bone folder. Now you gotta make sure that the blade is in the widest opening. There we go, oops, and I just got myself again. You gotta make sure that the blade is in the widest opening. Sorry, I gotta stick my head down here where I can see. And then, oops, and then you'll push with your finger. I'm so nervous to cut myself again. This blade is super sharp. There we go. So you'll push on, let me get my fingers out of the way. It just pops right out if you can see. So you'll put your finger down here, loosen the little hook. Let me separate this so I can see it, so you can see it. See how it's got that little hook? You'll loosen that from the actual guide. Hello, that's the word I'm looking for. And then this just pops right out of that larger hole right there. And then to put them in, you do, whoops, you do the same thing. I apologize, I've had lots of caffeine this morning and nothing to eat, so I'm a little jittery. You'll lock the hook, see how it's locked there, but it's not actually in the guide yet. You'll lock it and slide it right back into that hole, and you're set. There you go. So they're really easy to put on and off. Just don't cut yourself first and you won't have as much of a problem as I did. Okay, what's another feature of this? It's got a cool little protective holder for the guide. I'm like at a loss for words today, which the other one did not have. I really, really like that. The other one did have this, but it wasn't as prominent. It's got little points on the scoring and the blade that are a lot easier to see, so that you know if you only want to cut down to a certain position, that point lets you know where where the blade is actually cutting, so you can stop at any given point. Let me flip this so you can probably see it better. Do you see this? It's got like a little It's like a little lock. This is awesome. Okay, so I can't tell you how many times that I pick mine up and it goes fling, and it flings right open. This little button at the top here will actually lock this thing shut. Let me show you. It's not opening, okay? So what it does, when you unlock it, it's got a little hook here that locks into this mechanism down here, which is awesome because it keeps it from moving on you when you're actually cutting as well. And for storage purposes, it keeps it from flopping it open and shut. The handle, now if you do want to cut something larger than a piece of cardstock or an 8.5 by 11 cardstock, this is so new that it's really snug. Okay, so let me show you that. I don't think you got that on camera. When you open and close that, can you tell how I'm having to kind of work to get that open? Right there, it locks into place. Awesome. So many times where I've been cutting my cards, my card bases for class, and realized that this wasn't straight, therefore my cut isn't straight. I can tell you how frustrating it is once I've made it through like 15 cards. So that locks into place, which is awesome. The other thing that I absolutely love about the arm, let me flip this over, is that it has a little leg. It has a leg and it's always out. I can't tell you how awesome that is. So I don't have to worry about if I'm pushing a little too hard, which I know that's surprising. If I'm pushing a little too hard on this portion of the arm, it's not going to give on me, which, hello, so genius. And then it just locks right back into place. Think of. All right, so let's flip it over. Yes, there is still more on the back. So it has these protective feet, which I think is phenomenal because so smart. And the other thing that I actually really, really love is this. Okay, did you see that? Awesome. Okay, so it's got a little compartment down here. You can actually put bone folders in there. You can put, I'm looking for mine right now. You can put stylus in there. You can put business cards in here. You can put cutters. You could put some candy. You can put anything in here. These are awesome. I guess I shouldn't put something there because that actually takes up space to let it close. But in that one you can. And you can just shut it and you carry them with you. Oh my gosh, can I just tell you how awesome this is? I think this is probably one of my new favorite things. And so you just open it and there are your tools. You put a pen, anything. So awesome. So this is the new paper trimmer from Stampin' Up! And I know you guys are dying to get one. I hope that if you are in need of a paper trimmer, and honestly, even if you have the old one, this seriously is the best. I mean, really is the best. And if you're going to do a lot of paper cutting, you might as well have a tool that does everything for you. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them at the end of this post. And I would be more than happy to help you out with those. And thanks so much for watching this and joining me today. And I hope to see you again really, really soon. You guys have a great day. Bye.